We've heard this morning about the importance of a focus on long-term value creation. We do an annual CEO purpose report that surveys over 1,000 CEOs from around the world, the Americas, China, Europe. And in our last year's report, the increasing focus on long-term value creation was evident. 73% of CEOs said that they were focusing on long-term value creation now, in fact, increasing their efforts around long-term value creation, and that purpose was the key tool in helping create that long-term value. With economic pressures increasing, how is your organization balancing short-term value and that long-term value creation?
I think I'll take that. It says to speak loudly and get close to the mic, so hopefully you can hear me. I think most of you probably don't know who Opportune is, so I think it's relevant just to quickly explain who we are. We provide inclusive and affordable financial services, primarily in the form of personal loans and credit cards, to people who typically would end up at a payday lender because they don't have a credit score or they have a misscored credit file. This is somebody who probably earns $50,000 a year, and needs $500 today to fix their car, or they're going to lose their job. And if they went to a payday lender, that $500 loan likely would cost them around $2,500 when it was all said and done. A loan from us will cost them, about $600 total, if they pay it off on time. And what we've done is we've helped about over 1 million people develop a credit score for the first time. And we've provided $14 billion in inclusive and affordable loans into primarily low and moderate income communities. So that's what we do, and that's what the company was built around. It was really built around a purpose. And our product is really designed for customer success. It's sort of baked in to what we do. Our most profitable loan is one that's paid back on time and in full. We're not making money off of ancillary fees. So what we've done is we've structured our business around doing right for our members. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, just wanted to add that recently I came across an article that talks about corporate purpose, and I've been in the field of corporate social responsibility for about 25 years. And what dawned to me when reading this article is that it said that corporate purpose strengthens resilience and creates value if it's genuine. And so that was, for me, that characterizes why I'm at Opportune. It's because I know how genuine our purpose is, and that especially in this macroeconomic backdrop that we're in.
This horror movie?
Yeah, this horror movie that we're in. Our purpose is very relevant: financial empowerment, financial inclusion. And so how we're juggling, short-term and long-term value is really through the lens of our purpose and ensuring that it is a decision-making tool in every step of the way.
Yeah, a short-term decision to change our products in the current economic environment to advantage, say, our shareholders would be antithetical to our mission. And ultimately would destroy long-term value. So for us, we have to stay true to what we're doing. And there will be tough times, there will be great times. But if we stay true to our mission, we keep our employee base, we keep our members. If we were to break with that, I think we'd lose a lot of our employees and probably a lot of our members.
Okay, that's really interesting. So could you talk a little bit more about the specific commitment that you guys make to giving people access to that opportunity?
I can talk about that first. When we're talking about commitment to people, there are 3 groups that we see, and through the lens of our purpose, we look at providing our customers with a responsible financial product, but not only that, the support programs that come along with it. So for instance, we are partnered with Unidos US in providing financial counseling to our customers who need a leg up in the financial capability and confidence to go through their everyday finances. And with our employees, we wanted to make sure, that's another group that we're committed to. We are fostering an environment that is embracing and celebrating diversity, and also looking at their growth. And the other thing that we are committed to and investing in is in our communities. Communities is where we actually give 1% of our net profit and 1% of our employees' time in order for us to really hone in on the social impact that we want to have in the communities where we live and work and serve.
You know, we sort of have an interesting situation right now because demand for our product and really for any loan product because of the economy is actually really high. People need extra cash. But if we were to fulfill all of the demand, we actually would violate our purpose because we would start making loans that are not responsible. You know, because we could score someone today and, you know, we've had to change our scoring methodology over the last, you know, several months and few quarters. We've indicated this to Wall Street because we've had to tighten credit. Because if we were to give a loan to somebody who then failed to pay it back, we actually would put them further behind. So that's actually, you know, we could be wildly profitable doing what we do if we were to do it the wrong way. There's a lot of money to be made in LMI communities. The trick is doing it responsibly.
Okay, so back to the horror show for a moment. So the Fed looks likely again to raise interest rates pretty significantly. It looks like, I think Bloomberg predicted there's a 100% likelihood of a recession in the next year. So very choppy economic waters. How would those forces, you talked a little bit about it just then, if you could talk some more, how are those forces impacting your business and your members?
There's a limit to what I can say, given that we're a public company and there are earnings coming up. You know, so I can't give you a definitive answer. The truth is, though, higher interest rates puts a squeeze on us because we have a hard cap on what our rates are, and it just raises our cost of funds, which we can't pass along to the consumer, and we wouldn't. It means that, you know, the consumer credit business is difficult right now. But we can't deviate from our purpose. It really comes down to that, and our decision-making is based on that.
I just wanted to add that, you know, we all are experiencing this, you know, economic challenges, and that we see that if we look at our customers, we see that over half of them don't really have like $1,000 of emergency money.
Actually, I think more than half of Americans don't have $1,000 saved for an emergency.
Absolutely. Also, like 61% are living paycheck to paycheck. On top of like 66% of American workers are financially worse off this year than last year. So you could just imagine what our customers are going through right now and the kind of help that they need in order for them to survive and not fall through the cracks. And so when we're looking at our purpose, we're looking at our customers and how we can support and serve them and care for them in this economic times.
So about a year ago, we acquired a company that allows us to bring you know, automated savings to our members. And one of the reasons we did that was not because we knew the economy was going to turn, but because we know that there are people that we can't help with a loan because they're not equipped to handle it, to take on that responsibility. But we want to be able to provide them with something. So anyone who comes to Opportune and applies for a loan has free access to this product that we acquired called Digit, which automatically helps you save. It uses AI and machine learning to understand what your finances are and how you spend and what can be saved for you today that would be safe. So $3, $5, depending on your financial situation, you're spending. The average member who uses this product, and there are 700,000 of them or so, saves about $3,000 annually each. So they get themselves out of that situation of not having $1,000 for an emergency.
Well, that's amazing to go from less than $1,000 to $3,000 on average.
It's pretty significant, and it's pretty painless.
Okay, so switching gears a little, we've also heard this morning about ESG. I'd love to hear from you about what happens to purpose in combination with ESG and issues like DE&I in this difficult business climate.
So our purpose is steadfast. That is not changing. That will be the core of what we're doing and how we're doing things. Relative to sustainability and ESG and corporate social responsibility, it is very important for us to really put a focus on diversity. I mean, as a component of our sustainability strategy. And so earlier I was saying how we're embracing our diversity. We are very proud with the diversity that we have at Opportune. 53% of our employees are female. 73%, or something like 80% say that they're from underrepresented groups. And our board of directors, as well as our leaders in the company, they're within, like, majority of them are in the underrepresented and diverse group of people. And so it is important for us to show up and lean in on all the components of ESG, whether it's through our purpose, whether it's the planet, whether it's the people that we serve, or beyond the profit that we are generating.
Yeah, we were founded as a business primarily making loans to immigrants. And it's not surprising that a large portion of our employee base is Hispanic. One of the things that but I think it's important to note that at the leadership level, it is also a very diverse company. And that's also driven by purpose, because we want to serve a very broad audience, not just an immigrant audience. We're going to continue to do that. But as we broaden who we can serve, we also need to broaden who is serving them. We need a diversity of opinions. That is something that our CEO takes very seriously and has committed to. In his words, it takes intention and it takes daily commitment to be a diverse organization and one that's inclusive and equitable. And it takes time. I think we've done a really good job with it. There's always more to do. One of the things that I'm proudest of is within our retail workforce, which is about 1,500 people, we have a very, and those folks are primarily hired from within the communities we're serving. And we have a very robust leadership development program where we have developed an entire core of future leaders through this program, where they get job training and career skills, which will work for them not just at Opportune, but anywhere that they go from now on. And this is something that has trained several thousand people over the course of 15, 16 years, and put them on a great career track as well.
That's great. We're almost out of time, but I do have one more question. And you talked a little bit about your team and the people in the organization. And we heard earlier about the importance of purpose to employees. What do you think would happen if, because of the pressures of the moment, you started to deviate from your core mission? What would happen with your employee base?
Our corporate purpose is in every level of the organization. It's embedded in who we are and what we do, and the culture and the values. And honestly, I can't really see a scenario where we deviate from that. It's how we operate as an organization. And in fact, 90% of our employees feel good about working at Opportune because they all are connected in the mission of the organization. Every week, a mission story comes out, and it talks about like how we're helping people, and that's really how our employees are recharged, renewed, reimagining what they're doing on a regular basis because of the impact that we're doing for not only you know, the customers we're serving, but the community at large.
Yeah.
I've been in corporate communications for about 25 years, and I've worked at a range of companies that have, you know, different degrees of purpose. I wanted to finish my career, hopefully here, because I wanted to work on something that I felt was meaningful and mattered. If we deviated from our purpose, I'm a terrible liar, and I'm not going to do it. My job requires telling the truth. I have to feel good about it in order to do it enthusiastically and vigorously. So I can only speak for myself, but I'd be wearing a different jersey, so to speak.
That purpose clearly isn't going anywhere. Okay, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Rick.
Appreciate it. Thank you.